Hey guys, it's Ash here with WatchMojo, and these are the top 10 Sanji fights from One Piece.
Ladyが俺を誰だ 呼んでいる
For this list, we'll be looking at the best fight scenes involving the Straw Hat Pirate's womanizing, high-kicking cook, Sanji. If there's a Sanji battle whose absence sets you aflame, get cooking with your favorites in the comments below. Number 10 versus Wanze. If Sanji is the filet mignon of chefs, then Wanze is a day-old hot dog. This wide-eyed, annoying Cypher Pol agent stands, or rather skates, between Sanji and company, rescuing Robin on a train. Yet, despite his silly demeanor and disgusting cooking methods, who strains noodles with their nose, Wanze succeeds in forcing Sanji to do something no other fighter has: use weapons. Because Wanze encases himself in noodle armor, Sanji can't use his favorite kicks. Instead, he uses knives to prepare the food making up Wanze's suit. Not only that, but he also rearranges Wanze's face with kicks to make him handsome. Wanze may not appreciate it, but as we've established, he can't recognize good cooking. Number 9 versus Kurobi. When the Straw Hats decide to free Nami's hometown from the oppression of Arlong and his fishmen pirates, Sanji squares off against Kurobi, an expert in fishman karate. Kurobi ridicules Sanji's chivalrous attitude and seems to be a match for Sanji on land, and especially in water, which Sanji leaps into to save Luffy from drowning. Some quick thinking by Sanji allowed him to force his foe to surface though. When he can breathe again, Sanji makes quick work of Kurobi, calling out his attacks and kicking the fishy martial artist through a building. It's just as well, he probably couldn't handle dessert. Number 8 versus Donquixote Doflamingo. Most of the fights with big bads are reserved for Luffy, but when the warlord Doflamingo attacks half the crew on their ship, Sanji steps in to save them. The mid-air battle between the pair is brief but quite memorable. Sanji impresses the manipulative mad lad with his strength, but he's no match for Doflamingo's string powers, which leave him immobile. Thankfully, Law steps in to rescue him. Even so, while it lasts, this brief exchange with Doflamingo has Sanji kicking above his weight and doing pretty well for himself. Number 7 versus Virgo. The Straw Hats and the Marines of G5 are normally enemies, but when their double agent leader, Vice Admiral Virgo, attacks Captain Toshigi, Sanji steps in since he heard her crying.
Ladyが俺を誰だ呼んでいる
Sanji's fight with Virgo sees the two of them matching kicks, with Virgo even managing to crack one of Sanji's bones. Although Sanji knocks Virgo into several walls, the duplicitous marine/pirate proves durable, and his haki is quite impressive. Unfortunately for us, their fight gets cut short by the arrival of poison gas. But we feel like Sanji could have won eventually, without the time constraint. Number 6 versus Vinsmoke Judge. Arguably, Sanji's greatest foes, if not his greatest fights, are his family. Besides his mother and sister, the rest of Sanji's blood relatives are terrible, abusive people. Sanji's biggest bout with his family is when his father, Judge, decides to make their argument physical. Despite lacking the genetic modifications and supersuits of his siblings and father, Sanji holds his own against Judge. Even so, despite his haki and fiery kicks, Judge's use of dirty tactics catches Sanji off guard, and he's defeated. This fight is Sanji fighting against his past, both literally and figuratively. Number 5 versus Page 1. As Page 1 of the Beast Pirates goes rampaging through Wano Country's capital, looking for Sangoro, the sober chef, the man himself appears and starts fighting the Dino Devil Fruit user. But to disguise himself, Sanji dons the raid suit given to him by the Vinsmokes. And sure, using the raid suit does kind of contradict Sanji's vow to never ever use something given to him by his terrible family, but at the end of the day, he's dressed like a superhero fighting a dinosaur. The suit's invisibility powers, flight, and incredible durability, along with some great animation, help make this short but sweet fight stick out from the rest. Number 4 versus Monkey D. Luffy. Sanji's reunion with his family is not a happy one, as we've already gone over. In fact, Judge threatens to kill the man he eventually sees as his father, Zeph, if Sanji doesn't go through with the marriage that they've arranged for him. So when Luffy shows up, hoping to take Sanji back, Sanji is so torn that he tries to make Luffy leave with force. It's a one-sided beatdown with Sanji repeatedly pummeling his captain, hoping he can convince Luffy that this is what he wants. Luffy doesn't buy it though. Sanji may win this emotional exchange, but Luffy's speech has Sanji and us in tears, and leaves little doubt as to the true victor. Number 3 versus Mr. 2 Bon Clay. Bon Clay may be flamboyant and ridiculous, but despite it, or maybe because of that, he gives Sanji one of his best fights. The duo are fairly well matched physically, with Mr. 2's martial arts and Sanji's kicks creating some great back and forth. And Bon Clay's ridiculous use of his shape-shifting devil fruit powers may be ineffective at first, but he finds just the right face to play on Sanji's weakness. Ultimately, their clash of kicks ends with Sanji the victor. Full of great choreography and some hysterical comedy, this battle is as unforgettable as Bon Clay's eccentric appearance and surprisingly noble heart. Number 2 versus Jabra. The Straw Hats fights against CP9 feature most of them kicking their abilities up a notch, and Sanji takes that literally. When Usopp is nearly killed by the wolfish Jabra, Sanji arrives at the last second to save him and drop one badass line. While Sanji gets a few hits in, Jabra's tech eye makes his body incredibly durable. Forcing Sanji to unveil a new technique, Diable Jambe. By superheating his feet, Sanji is able to fry Jabra and send him to the bottom of the tower. It's a fight that sees Sanji at his most heroic and spices up his fighting style in a new way. Before we get to our top pick, here's some honorable mentions. Versus Gin. Sanji's cooking won over even this brutal fighter. This is Absalom. Anyone who steals Sanji's perverted dream and his favorite girl is getting kicked. This is NL. Sanji may get zapped, but he drops a badass line and wrecks the would-be god's ship.
神を言い残したことが一つあった。いや、その前に悪いな。タバコの火欲しかったとこだ。
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1 versus Queen. Sanji's fight against Queen is unequivocally his greatest fight in the series yet, although his brief tag team with Zoro against King and Queen is also pretty epic. Queen is a flamboyant cyborg who can turn into a dinosaur, so there's plenty of comedy on offer. Pretty sure dinosaurs don't work that way. But it's Queen's connection to Sanji's family, and Sanji awakening the same superhuman abilities as his family, that make this battle something special.
加速も違う、重みも違う、謎も解けたぞ。男は女を殴っちゃならねえ。そんなことは恐竜の時代から決まってる。お前だったんだろう、クイーン。この人間のクズがコリエ。
Sanji has to confront who he could become and his feelings about the Vinsmokes, while also obtaining new strength and delivering a final blow that's even hotter and more hype than ever before. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.